Today, I am reviewing the Beelink Mini S12 Mini PC. If at any time you'd like to explore this product for yourself and grab it at a great price, be sure to check the links below the video. If you are currently shopping for a desktop computer but you don't want to sacrifice a massive chunk of your desk space or pay a premium for hardware you'll never actually push to its limits, you have probably stumbled across these tiny boxes like the Beelink Mini S12. I have been using this specific unit as my secondary machine for a few weeks now, and I have some very specific thoughts on who this is for, and more importantly, who should stay far away from it. If you want to check the current pricing or see the full spec sheet for yourself, you can find the links right below this video. Let's start with the reality of the performance. The Intel N95 processor inside this box is not a powerhouse. If you're a video editor, a hardcore gamer, or someone who keeps 50 Chrome tabs open while running heavy background applications, this computer will frustrate you. I noticed during my testing that while it handles basic web browsing and office productivity software like Word or Excel with zero issues, it starts to stutter if you try to multitask too aggressively. It is perfect for a dedicated media server, a home office station for email and spreadsheets, or even a kid's school computer. If you have realistic expectations for an entry-level chip, you will be happy, but do not buy this expecting it to replace a high-end workstation. The build quality surprised me a bit. It is incredibly compact, which is obviously the main selling point. It fits behind almost any monitor using the included mount, which essentially turns your screen into an all-in-one computer. The fan noise is surprisingly well managed. I kept it on my desk about 2 feet away from me, and even when I was streaming 4K video, the fan remained mostly a faint hum rather than the annoying jet engine sound you get from some budget laptops. However, I did find the plastic casing feels a bit cheap when you are plugging in your peripherals. You have to be careful when inserting your USB drives or HDMI cables so you don't feel like you're putting too much stress on the internal board. In terms of connectivity, having dual HDMI ports is a massive win for productivity. I spent a few days running a dual monitor setup, and it worked flawlessly for document management and web research. The inclusion of a 2.5G LAN port is a nice touch for those of you who want to use this as a home server or a dedicated NAS, as it allows for much faster data transfers than the standard gigabit ports found on most budget hardware. The Wi-Fi 5 is functional, though if you're planning on streaming very high bitrate content, you might prefer a wired connection to avoid any potential buffering. One of the biggest disappointments for me is the RAM limitation. It comes with 8 GB of DDR4, which is the bare minimum for a comfortable Windows 11 experience these days. While you can upgrade it, the single-channel limitation means you aren't going to get that extra performance boost you would see in higher-end systems with dual-channel memory. If you are tech-savvy enough to open the unit and swap the drive or the RAM, there is definitely some room to grow here, but for the average buyer, what you see out of the box is what you're going to be living with. Regarding the storage, the 480 GB SATA SSD is decent for general use. It is fast enough that the operating system boots up quickly and applications launch without that annoying lag you used to get on old mechanical hard drives. However, if you plan on storing a large media library, you will fill that space up faster than you think. Thankfully, the expansion options are there, but again, consider that as an extra cost you might need to factor in down the road. I think the intended buyer for the Beelink Mini S12 is someone who needs a clean, minimalist workspace. If you are a student, a retiree, or someone who just needs a computer to pay bills, watch YouTube, and handle light document work, this is an incredible value for the money. You are getting a legitimate Windows experience for a fraction of what a big brand tower would cost you. It occupies almost zero physical footprint, which is a major aesthetic upgrade for anyone tired of a bulky PC tower taking up floor space. However, if you are looking for a machine to play modern games, edit high-resolution video, or run complex simulation software, you need to look elsewhere. You will be disappointed if you try to push this hardware beyond its entry-level capabilities. It is not designed for heavy lifting. I also found that while the support team is responsive, the process for things like enabling auto power on is a bit more manual than it should be, requiring you to contact them for specific files. It is not exactly a plug-and-play experience if you want to customize the BIOS settings for specific power needs. Ultimately, the value proposition here is about efficiency and space. You are paying for a compact form factor and a low power consumption chip that does exactly what it promises and nothing more. It is an honest machine. If your needs are modest, this is a very practical choice that saves you money and keeps your desk clutter-free. If you want to see if this fits your specific setup, or if you want to compare the current price against other models, feel free to use the links below. Just make sure you are honest with yourself about your computing needs before you pull the trigger. It is a great little box, but only if you know exactly what you are asking it to do.